Welcome to this very special and hopefully very quick podcast episode where myself
Yeah.
and Adam are going to talk about Star Trek Picard Season 3. And I'm really curious about Adam's opinion because he has watched it, but I don't know whether he likes it or not. So he's going to reveal that fact to me now.
You know what? Like seasons 1 and 2 were not good. They were terrible. Especially 2, I find pretty. It's just bad. Season 3, you know what? I am pleasantly surprised with the direction. I am. I'm pleasantly surprised. I know maybe I'm getting lured in by it again. Maybe I'm getting because I thought after the season 2 I thought I'm done and I'm not gonna watch this crap again because most of the episodes I just sort of skipped through because it got completely ridiculous and the dialogue was awful. But I watched episode 1 of season 3 all the way through without skipping anything, and I think it's tonally different than the previous seasons. I feel like they're going in a different direction. I feel like it's definitely using a lot of like nostalgia and memories and stuff like that for things, and like definitely a next generation tone, especially with the fonts and the opening and the old style. Like the music is there as well, and everything from it, from like I don't know, the characters seem like that's how they would be talking if they actually as themselves. It's not just badly written dialogue. Like Picard seems like an older version of Picard rather than like a clown than what he was in season 2 and 1. But I generally at the moment I'm optimistic about the next few episodes. I'll see what the thing is about it. I'm not gonna go in like hammer it and be negative. There are negatives to be there, but at the moment I'm looking at it in a more positive light than I would be, say, the opening of season 2.
Adam, can you tell everybody what your Twitter is? And then we can end this episode.
Why?
I'm fucking not talking to you. We did it. We did the episode in 40 minutes. Well done. Okay. I'll see you next
Oh,
week.
cool. I see that.
You
Yeah.
fucker.
So you don't like it?
I don't like it because there's tonally when you talk about tone, it has to fit what the first two seasons. There was this meme I saw where they said Riker is talking to Picard and saying, "Well, we can't use the lens flares from the J.J. Abrams universe because that's what they do." And he says, "Do you have any suggestions?" He says, "Yeah, let's just turn all the fucking lights off." And it's so dark, and it matches in tone. Now we're talking about aesthetic tone to the first two seasons, but
Yeah,
when it comes
it's the same.
right, but I don't want that. I want the TNG tone of the flat lighting.
Look, dude, you are not gonna get like
I know,
the next
I know.
generation TV series again. You're not gonna get it. I feel
I'm
like
not
this
asking for
is
the series.
definitely
I'm not asking for
leaning
the series.
towards. I'm feeling this is leaning towards like it feels like a more of a cinematic sort of film type of thing vibe that I think they're going for.
Even the movies, apart from a few scenes in Generations, the lighting was more flat because it represented a sort of optimism. That's why you had it in. You even had it in DS9 and Voyager. So it's not just TNG. It's that Berman era sort of way of creating that optimistic aesthetic just through the lighting, and it's not here. So everything looks really dark, which I don't like. So it links it closer to the first two seasons that it's trying to distance itself from, and the dialogue is roughly the same. It's a very modern, casual way of speaking. And I think in the first episode, you've only watched episode 1, right?
I was gonna watch episode 2, but it's not out on Prime yet. It's not out on my side.
Oh, that sucks.
I was literally gonna message you and say, "Oh, can I meet later? I'll watch episode 2, so I'm all caught up." But it wasn't out.
Well, I don't think there is enough in episode 2 to warrant a full episode. So maybe you watch it and you decide, and maybe because you've got more limitations on your time, you tell me if you want to do 2 and 3 together or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the dialogue, and the dialogue here is still written in a modern way, whereas Star Trek has always, from TOS all the way to Enterprise, has always been written in a style where think of Shakespeare. I'm always using this as an example. You can hear, when you hear Shakespeare, you know what Shakespeare is. And if you want to write like Shakespeare, then you've got to use that kind of English to put it in that time period. Star Trek has always had this kind of evolved sense of dialogue where you know it's sort of like a period piece, or you should know it's a period piece. And even in Star Trek 4, Kirk says, "Why does everyone swear so much?" And Spock is saying, "Oh well, this is how they get people's attention, and that's why they don't swear in Star Trek, except for Data when he says shit one time in Generations." And when you include all those swear words in modern Trek, which Discovery does and Picard does, you're one, not making it family friendly, because Star Trek has always been family friendly. So it can't. So when we talk about tone, to me, you've now changed the tone because it's not for the family, especially when there's decapitations happening and f-bombs and the word shit being thrown around. So there's a problem.
Yeah, but
And then they're
there's
using
barely
modern.
anyone watching this shit, JJ. So we
Maybe
can get around that.
maybe, but when you also use modern dialogue, you're sort of dating. You're putting a date on the thing that you've produced, like a wine. If you put the date on it, then you know when it was made and when it comes from, and it's got that distinctive taste. This is like a wine, not in a fine sense, but in a very cheap sense, because they're using aphorisms that we are using today, and I think that's wrong. Whereas TNG didn't do that, unless it was. So not when I say TNG, I mean the Berman era Trek. You had a character like Tom Paris who would use those kinds of things. So it sounds like I'm nitpicking the details, but the details ultimately are important. That's why you're talking about nostalgia, and you can see the Resican flute in the background, or the curl on Naskos, or some fucking painting that should have got destroyed anyway on the Enterprise D, and everyone's masturbating over, oh my god, the member berries, they put it in there, what does it mean?
Well, you're a bigger Trek fan than me, so you're going to notice these little things that I won't necessarily just glaze over.
Possibly, okay, but
it didn't really bother me, that sort of thing.
Okay. Example, they say old fart, road trip, and shit, junkie, world-ending shit. Those are from the first episode. That's just not Star Trek to me. You've got to get the dialogue down. You've got to me, importantly, you've got to get the dialogue down, and you've got to want to say something, which we'll talk about in a minute, with your episodes, and you've got to get the tone right. And you can't have. Have you watched that Amazon science fiction series, the one that everyone keeps talking about? The set in the future. It's based on a book series. There's like 7 seasons of it.
No idea.
The Expanse. There we go. I did it by myself. Thanks for your help.
Oh, I was gonna watch it, but I've not got around to it.
Okay. Well, it's getting rave reviews, and a lot of that dialogue is, anchored to modern times, which is fine because it's not trying to be a high concept or higher concept science fiction series without a pre-established sort of 40-year legacy attached to it. That's why a lot of people are upset and saying this is not Star Trek.
Okay.
Right. So, but anyway, those words that I just rattled off, they don't concern you. You're not worried by that.
No, I didn't notice anything like that really.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm probably tonally deaf when it comes to like looking at old Trek and then looking at this. I just see it as science fiction show and I'm just like watching it.
Okay. But you also, it's it's action adventure so far as well. There's no real science fiction yet. There's no concepts being thrown at you.
So far, I mean, it's borrowing a lot of things from past Trek, like episodes/films. So I think that
What did you notice?
they're stealing basically they're stealing a ship, aren't they, again? So, but well, not stealing it, but basically hijacking it, kind of thing. I think that was like similar to, was it Search for Spock or something? Where they hijacked the ship in that. So yeah, similar to that.
Yeah.
I will say I liked the fact they used the Titan again. That was pretty cool. Like again, a bit of a nostalgia thing, using an old style sort of ship, sort of again, probably it's trying to appeal to like original old Trek people, you know what I mean, like fans. I like
Member
the
berries.
captaining on it, the Captain Shaw.
Member
Captain Shaw's
berries.
really good. I feel like it's a character, he was really good. You know, Captain Shaw,
Are you sure? Yeah,
introduced
I
him.
know. I know who you
Did
mean.
you like him?
Uh,
Yeah, I liked him. I liked his introduction.
I actually did like him, but it made Picard and Riker look dumb. So this is where I might want to talk about the writing, because he owns them basically. He's like, no, this is my ship, and then Picard's like, well, but I'm an admiral. It's like, yeah, but you're retired. You don't get to tell me what to do. And Riker's like, well, I'll tell you what to do. It's like, but you have no commission, so you can't tell me what to do either. And it just makes them look dumb. They didn't know this already walking into the meeting.
Well, they said
It's so weird.
they did sort of touch they did touch on that in the shuttle. They did say like it's probably going to take him some convincing because he's not going to go for this because he's quite by the book. They knew this
Yeah, but
anyway going in.
still,
So
you can't sort of upset him, not upset him, but you can't unnerve the guy. I'm an admiral. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, you take my ship wherever you want to go.
yeah, but
You're
the thing
retired,
is though,
dude.
like if you're looking at it from a different perspective, like from his perspective, it's like you've got these two assholes coming on his ship, wanting to take it over and go in the opposite direction to what he was planning to do. And he knows their reputation. He's just like, nah, fuck off. You're not taking the ship in that direction. We're sticking to this.
Well,
It's quite funny.
the thing I didn't like as well, and this is a writing problem, is that Seven tells the audience through Picard and Riker, you're going to have a problem with Captain Shaw. Like, why did you tell us? And then they have the problem that Seven told them about. Why did the writer give that away? I, there's little things like that throughout these first two episodes that do this, where they've got this problem, then they solve it or they overcome it. So it was never an issue, and that's what the first two seasons of Star Trek Picard did. Oh, here's the problem. Oh, it doesn't matter. We've got this device, or we've got this solution, and it's resolved in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not for the duration of the episode. So why create the
Okay.
conflict, or why create the speed bump if you're going to introduce the speed bump later, or show, not tell?
Do you think he's going to become a character that ultimately sort of does the right thing in the end, sort of thing? If he's like a bit of an asshole at the start of it, he's going to be like, do you reckon he's going to go that direction?
Well, I have the benefit of the second episode, and all I can say is that he has his reasons. He has justifiable reasons for what he's doing. So he's not written So he's not written in a way like the rest of Star Trek, New Trek, sorry. They write the male characters to be assholes because they're male, and there is a sort of misandrist sort of written. There's a misandrist sort of view in Star Trek where the men can be incompetent and you can kill them off, and lots of times it's white men. I'm not going to say that Star Trek Picard season 3 is woke. It's not woke, but people might misinterpret it as being woke. He gets better as a character. He has his reasons for doing what he's doing in episode 2. So you've got to watch it. So I'll give him the credit for that. He's a fine character.
His family like die with a
No, there's no backstory. That is interesting though. They haven't introduced his backstory yet. So if he's got a tragic backstory, I don't know. But at the moment, he seems like a well-written, competent character. Apart from the things I don't like about the tone, how it's tonally orchestrated in this show.
I am a little bit sick of the concept that Starfleet is evil.
Yes.
Again, are they evil again? Are they? I don't know what's going on with that. Like, is that going to be the thing? They haven't outright said the bad guys again, but are they going to be? Do you think? Because you've seen 2 episodes now, do you get that sense that that's going to happen?
No, they just say it, just like they did in the first season. They said, "Oh, Federation is xenophobic," and it's like, how can a multi-planetary organization be xenophobic? And then they show up at the end of the episode anyway with Riker's fleet and save the day. So the show contradicts itself, and it's probably still doing that.
Okay.
But Major Grin has a theory that I don't know if you remember this episode, but in season 1 of TNG, there's an episode called Conspiracy, and there's these little creatures that sit inside the back of your neck and they take over your body.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Supposedly they're back, but with 8 episodes left. But with 8 episodes left, I don't see how you've got time, because Law and Moriarty have still not been introduced yet, and I have the rest of the cast of TNG except for Worf. Worf is in episode 2.
That's the other thing as well. I was going to touch on. Like, I've not seen the main antagonist yet, but do you think is it going to be an idiot again? They always seem to be stupid.
Her name is Vadik, and she is in episode 2 because the
Is
episode
she?
leaves
I
on
mean,
the cliffhanger, doesn't it?
these bad guys in Star Trek, they always seem to appear out of nowhere. We never fucking know who they are until they've got some weird backstory. Like
Right.
that happened in the background somewhere of any past history of Trek. And it's like, oh, they were there and this has affected them somehow. And then they come back, it's like this big bad in like, say, today's Trek. And it's like, and you're meant to know or care who the fuck they are.
We're sort of drifting into episode 2 discussion, but I'll just be brief and then we can go back on episode 1.
Yeah.
She's a major part of episode 2. It's very Wrath of Khan style, no backstory yet. And she seems she's very overly dramatic, so you just have to wait.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you feel about the music in this episode that you watched? I'll let you speak first, and then I'm gonna complain.
Well, they opened up with like they opened up with some old music, didn't they? Like the nostalgic sort of Star Trek music.
Yeah,
so
First Contact.
a little bit throughout the episode. So I thought, on hearing this, I thought, oh, you'd appreciate this, but I'm guessing you didn't. So
No, I didn't appreciate it.
It's like,
No,
this poor guy who's directing the thing cannot catch a break.
For 2 reasons, and I think they're very valid as well. One, because there's already so many references and Easter eggs inside. Every scene is just laden. It's like Smorg's fucking Dragon Den, where you just walk around and it's just full of gold. It's just like, oh, this is here, that's there, and that. What does that mean? And there's an Enterprise D in a bar inside the bar called 10 Forward, but Guinan isn't there. And so because of those things, when you start including the music, they become a member berry as well. And so now you've got visual and audible member berries. And I think that takes away from whatever clever thing you're trying to reference. But say go back to the space dock scene. They're leaving space dock and they're using Star Trek 3 space dock music. And all you're doing is reminding me of Star Trek 3, which wasn't the best Star Trek movie, but it certainly is better than anything that New Trek has done. So you reminded me of the heist of stealing the Enterprise, which is the best scene probably. Why? By using that music, you're evoking this nostalgia that just reminds me of better stuff, which I think is wrong. You want to be able to put a different spin on it or use it sparingly so that your show becomes your thing. And the second point to that is that because of the tone of the series, so we're going way back to the beginning now, the visual tone of the series, if you get to the end credits, for example, and you've got this bombastic TNG style music along with the other Star Trek famous melodies, it doesn't work to me. It's in discord. It's clashing with the visuals because it's so dark and brooding and moody, and yet you've got this light-hearted music. I said on Twitter last night, it's like muting a P. Diddy song and then playing classical music over it and then trying to watch the P. Diddy song with just classical music. It doesn't work. It's a rap song, so just do rap. I'm just very sensitive, Adam. I need hugs. I need Berman to make Trek again. Wrap me up in a.
Well, I liked it. No. Okay. Think of this. The way the show is right now, as you've seen 2 episodes, it is better than season 1 and 2. I don't think you can probably deny that, right?
Mate, my fucking Star Trek Voyager is better.
I know that's hard.
What I'm writing myself is better.
Better. Say this. I mean, it's hypothetical. It's not going to happen. But it's unfortunate that the guy who's doing this did not start doing Picard from season 1 and then had all this time to do this. I think it may have been maybe better. I don't know. Because the season 1 and 2 have done so much damage. So maybe he's having to probably, I don't know, try and course correct all the shit that's happened before now to get to this. So it's like he said it's listed at the start saying part 1. So it's like it's trying to start again. It's like saying ignore that. It's like you don't even have to watch any of those seasons to actually get into this. You could just start from this.
True.
Realistically, because none of that crap matters.
I think that's a very optimistic and kind take on Terry Metalis' work. but the tone would still be off. But then again, if he was in charge from season 1, would he try to revert to his own sort of interpretation of what the lighting would be and the tone? Would it be family friendly? Because Discovery is not family friendly. So could TNG, could he have done something about that? We'll never know. So out of the gate, I mean, the best I can be optimistic for is to say, if he had begun in season 1, then it would have been better than Star Trek Discovery, because Star Trek Discovery makes no fucking sense. It just gets weirder and weirder.
No, it does. Yeah, I know. I watched, I think, 2 seasons of that. It's fucking awful.
Have you seen season 4?
No.
I watched one episode of season 4, the first one. That was the very first full episode I ever watched. The rest of it was just all clips and YouTube reviews. And they opened this space dock, and in season 3, they go 1,000 years into the future, right? So they're all disconnected from all of that Star Trek bullshit that was tripping them up with regards to canon. And they open this space dock, and they call it the Jonathan Archer space dock. And it's like, is there no one else to fucking attach their name to it for 1,000 years? No one else more significant than the guy who died from this particular TV show in your timeline over 1,200 years ago. It's just a member berry. Oh, the Jonathan Archer space dock. And it's like, fuck off. You're just adding a member berry while you don't want to, something from canon, while you don't also want to be a part of the canon. Because they said, oh, well, we're in the future now, so we don't have to worry about the canon.
I saw a clip on YouTube about, it's like a space station thing, but it was like they were sort of cloaked in sort of some sort of weird bubble thing, and it had different ships from different eras in it. What the hell was that? I was there thinking, what the hell is this?
Basically, some alien got upset and destroyed all the dilithium in the galaxy. So what was left of the Federation, remnants of it, sort of put themselves in a warp bubble of some kind to protect themselves. And that's why when they went visiting Earth and planet Trill, there's no Federation, because some of them that survived went to their own space and tried to protect their sector of the galaxy that they were in. It's just wank. And there was of course a fucking Voyager J. The Voyager, they went through an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Like, oh my god, there's the Voyager J. That would make it 8 versions? No, 9. Correcting themselves. And then the ship gets an upgrade. Anyway, it actually breaks canon anyway, even if you went 1,000 years into the future, because Star Trek, TNG, and that era actually told us what was happening in the year 3000. So they still fucked up. But anyway, we're not talking about STD, are we?
So did Busted.
So did what?
Busted.
I don't get that reference. I don't know what you're talking about.
Born in the year 3000. That's the one.
Okay, the year 3000. Okay, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Not much has changed.
Did you notice that Riker dead names Annika Hansen in the first episode? You know what dead naming is, don't you?
Yeah, just like name drops up.
No. Dead naming is when a trans person that's hypothetically, let's call it Dave, wants to become Davina, and then on Twitter, if you say, "Hey Dave," then you're calling him by his dead name. So therefore, that's offensive, and you get banned on Twitter. So you're dead naming somebody. It's like shaming.
Oh, okay.
So Seven says, "My name is not Seven anymore. Captain Shaw wants me to be called Annika Hansen, right?" And then later on, Riker says, "Seven, she's really nice." And it's like, you just fucking dead named her. So it's not that woke, actually. It's not woke in any way, because Riker doesn't give a fuck. Seven, it is. I love when they set up the rules and of woke Trek, and then they break their own rules from what they've set up.
Yeah,
totally ignored it. I'd say something else. Of course, Beverly's son is going to be Picard's son as well. He speaks with a British accent somehow, even though he's in fucking space. You develop the accent.
I did notice that.
Where you're living. That. That's not a spoiler. It's like shorthand, and I feel as well for a lot of scenes they are using shorthand just to get that point across. Oh, he's British, therefore he's got to be Picard's son. The Titan is now refitted. It's a Neo Constitution. Oh, look at the member berry. Right, let's get on with it. Don't think about it. And actually, it's not a refit. They called it a refit, but they're just saying it just to sound like they know what the fuck they're talking about.
They also have LaForge's daughter on it as well.
Yes, which is also a reference
Yeah,
to when Star Trek Seven, Kirk meets Sulu's daughter on the Enterprise B.
yeah,
Like every scene
yeah,
in the first episode has to have a reference to something. Ah,
yeah, yeah.
bullshit. We've got 10 minutes, by the way, so we're gonna do it.
What about okay, there's a lot of characters that have been seemingly cut out. Well, not a lot, but yeah, there's a couple. Like
Like
that blonde, what's her friggin' name? The one that was like turned into a Borg but wasn't. Like she was working with the Borg Queen. There's that one. Can't remember her
Seven.
name because I didn't really give a crap. Not Seven. The
Oh,
short-haired
yeah,
blonde
yeah,
one.
Jurati.
Yes.
There, they got rid of
I think she's
Jurati and
not in it
Rios.
anymore.
Yeah, well, she's the Borg Queen, protecting
Yeah,
that fucking
Rios.
hole in the galaxy,
Oh yeah. And then
pining for
Rios, he's
friendship.
obviously in a different time.
Yeah.
He's in a different time. So they've got rid of some of the cast. I know Raffi's still in it,
Oh,
and she's
hey.
got like some sort of covert mission thing going on somewhere else.
Let me ask you: do you
With
find
some,
anything wrong with her scenes? Just when you're listening to the way she
um,
speaks.
I do find her a little jarring in terms of I don't know. Like it seems like she's in another science fiction show compared to this. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
weird. When you
Okay.
talk about dialogue, yeah, she doesn't seem to fit that sort of Star Trek mold. I know she's meant to be in a sort of covert ops sort of thing, but still it doesn't really fit.
All of her
Um,
all of her dialogue is exposition.
the planet looked all right.
Eh, it looks
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars. It looks Star Wars, all right.
The planet thing was like very cyberpunky with the light neon lights and shit everywhere and stuff. That sort of reminded me a little bit. I'm
Is
guessing we won't be staying too long on that planet. I think yeah, that's gone. That planet.
is it too much to ask for a matte painting, a zoom in on a matte painting with a cardboard background and like one or two extras? I mean, that's all I want for my Star Trek. I don't need a heavily made up background that looks like Blade Runner
Yeah,
2047. Give me
can you get that?
just give
That's
me
what
the
you can get.
cardboard. Just give me the cardboard, dude, and the matte painting. That's all I want.
No, because that's what old Trek was because they couldn't afford anything or special
Old
effects.
track,
They were
how
just all
dare
in
you?
rooms.
Yeah, but did you
They were
notice
all
though
in
that
different rooms.
I know, but because of that limitation with budget, they made it so good. I mean, think about the holodeck. It was just yellow pieces of sticker in a crisscross fashion, and yet it looked so futuristic. It was like, oh my god, this must be so expensive, but it's just pure black with yellow lines. And and then in the new Star Trek, it's all just visual. It's just a visual masturbatory sort of explosion of junk, and it's like you're supposed to be wowed by that, and yet there's something simpler and more refined that made it more sophisticated. I have a quote for you that I want to share from this article, which I will put it in the show notes, and then you can read it as well. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
As with, I can't see you now because I've changed windows. As with so much modern
Oh,
franchise media, there is no real ambition here. The third season of Picard isn't longing to light the world on fire. It doesn't really have anything profound or insightful to say about the world in which it was produced and released. It doesn't have a strong authorial viewpoint. If it doesn't even have a real sense of purpose. It just wants to be liked by the presumed target audience of hardcore fans desperately yearning to be reminded of the next generation. Great review by Darren Mooney from Escapist Magazine. You have to read it. He's watched all 10 episodes. Yeah,
and he didn't enjoy it like you.
we both didn't enjoy it. What are you talking about?
We both didn't enjoy it. We don't like
like,
this.
look, there is a couple of things that I thought, oh, that's interesting, but that's it. It's still mired by the fact that it's inside this new reimagined sort of future of
Okay.
the TNG crew. That's why I just consider it alt universe. It's just not the same. There's so many consistencies to tie it to the old stuff and then tie it to itself,
What?
which is a shame.
I've always been like a big like sci-fi sort of. I like sci-fi. I like Stargate. I like Star Trek. I don't watch it as religiously as you did. I like Star Wars. I like science fiction in
All
general.
power to the engines.
But it's like, what would
Reference
you
wasted on you.
want? What would you? Yeah, I know it's always wasted on me.
There's
Okay.
Futurama.
Christ,
And
man, it's like years old. How am I going to remember that?
he's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. And Scotty said there were no trouble at all. All power to the engines. Sorry, go on.
Fuck's sake. Is that the robot priest?
No, it's when they do the Star Trek episode and they go to the planet and
I don't know.
they find them all. Go on.
Whatever. I've lost my track of thought. Anyway, what would you?
Well,
How would
she.
you like? Say okay. Fuck off. Right, the guy who did this. Say if he was given a new project. Say he was like, "Hey, we want you to do a next generation type Star Trek." How would you want him to approach this? What would make you fucking happy? What would you want?
I
So like,
want it
if
to be
you were doing this,
okay.
what the fuck? What would you do?
In the 3 minutes we have left, I would want him to make
Yeah.
it family friendly, have the dialogue be period
Okay.
specific, and I want it to have an optimistic
Okay.
future, and I want it to have a science fiction concept or some kind of moralizing, some intellectual moralizing that we could have, that we used to have. Go back to the Aesop's Fables stories. You know, Aesop's Fables, like the turtle and the hare or the scorpion. You know, turtle and the hare?
Okay.
Right. Those kinds
Yeah.
of animal stories. Go back to that because that's what
Okay.
Star Trek fundamentally should be. It's not Star Wars or The Expanse.
I like that. I'd like it to be episodic again. I'd like them to go on just adventures again to different planets and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
And
even a
not
captain's
this
log.
one big story. Yeah, not this one big story where it has to be a big, wide scope of like, one big story. I'd like it to be episodic, and I want it to be like just them as a crew visiting the space, visiting, Boldly Go and all that sort of stuff. I want to just do that, just simplify it. And also, because a lot of Star Trek was based in sort of like real world politics and stuff like that, wasn't it? Back in the day, it was like they'd sort of try and use narratively, sort of.
Yeah, they would go do.
Not
They would do it
specific,
through. They would do it
but
through
it would.
allegory. Allegory, yes.
Yeah. It'd be very light on the sort of thing, but it'd be in reference a little bit to the events of what happening
Yes.
in the world, basically. Just do something like that instead of basing it in for a modern audience and basing it on one big story and one big bad, and just have it be just an adventure sort of thing every episode. And you wonder where they're going to be this episode. Kind of like Stargate had the same sort of thing where they went from the Stargate, went to a different planet, and they just came across different cultures and stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
But Stargate still had, if you go back to the first episode, you still had like a progression that happened in the background. So by the time they got to the end of Atlantis, they were using their own spaceships. They had that technology. They earned the trust of the Asgards, things like that. Always slowly upgrading.
The characters grew in the background.
Yeah.
The characters and everything around them was growing, but they did new things every episode, which was, good.
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
Yeah, they could totally do that now.
Yeah. Okay, so you like it. We've got a minute left. You like it. You're going to watch it. I'll hate watch it.
I like it. I like it so far. It may completely go off the rails and be completely ridiculous, but at the moment I'm a bit optimistic. I feel I do like how it is at the minute. I think, speaking to you now, as you're obviously full on, Shrek fan, you do make some valid points. The fact that the tone is a little bit, it is still dark. It's still set in that sort of dark tone that we've come to know Star Trek being now. I don't know. There's no getting away from that unless they completely do a new show outside of this, and maybe hopefully that happens. But who knows at this point? But maybe they can do that. But they'd have to do that, like you say, they'd have to sort of go back to roots and go back to that and do that.
Okay, we've got 10 seconds left.
That's a big ask, isn't it? It's a big ask, though, that, isn't it?
See if they pull it off. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to end.
We'll do this. We'll do this all the time. We'll do an episode and we'll speak about it, and then we'll do the whole season.